Hello everyone, welcome back to my crafty corner. My name is Jeanne Bobish and I'm a Fun Stampers Journey coach. As many of you may have known, I have not been on here for a while. Things have been a little hectic and I've been sick with that respiratory bug that's been going around. I think everybody's getting it or has gotten it or knows someone that's had it. But anyway, I'm starting to feel a little bit better and a little bit more in a crafty kind of mood. So, let's see, what else have I been working on? I've been working on some beautiful stationery boxes and some mini photo albums and things like that I am hoping that I will be able to share soon. That would be wonderful. Hi, Susan. Welcome. It's good to see you too. Thank you for joining me. Now, I feel a little guilty because I'm a little behind on this particular project. And as you know, I've been working on our Fun Stampers Journey Day by Day flip book and creating pages for each month of the year, and making it a calendar. So I usually like to come on about the third week of the month. Oh, thanks, Carol. And show you so that you have time to be able to create it. But unfortunately, here it is, the next to the last day of the month, and so I'm a little behind. But hi, Ruby. This is October's, which you all know. We did last month, you can see. And like I said, this was September's. So if you like these, you can certainly go back and check my videos. Some may be on Facebook, I'm not sure. But I want to show you what we're going to work on today, which is for November. And isn't that pretty? There you go. You can see the coloring on that image there, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I think that you're going to enjoy doing this. Now, I love this flip book, and it comes just like this. It folds flat, and it opens like so that it will stand, and I think it is just the cutest thing. It is so perfect to put on your desk at work, to put on a side table, on a shelf, and you get to change it over every month. And if you have children or grandchildren, instead of a calendar, you can use it for photographs. It's just a really, really awesome surface that we have that's very functional and very, very fun to play with and decorate. Now, for this, we are going to need our Through the Years prints paper pack. And I've been using this for every month. So if you would like to follow along with me, you may want to order that. And I will have all of the products listed on my blog, and I will give you the blog address in the comments below. We're going to need the notebook page die, which is perfect for cutting out pages for the flip book. We're going to use our Harvest AT stamp, which is just beautiful. And we're going to use our Bountiful Thanks stamp set because we're going to use this sentiment right here. Hi, Eva. Thanks for joining me. And then we're going to use our ovals. And let's see, we're going to need some gold embossing powder, some of our Journey Gold Pan Pastel. We're going to use clear pigment ink. Let me get it out here for you, because we're going to be embossing. We're going to use Hazelnut Blend. And of course, black licorice. Can't survive without black licorice. I mean, come on, people. And then the other thing we're going to need is our beautiful Color Burst colored pencils. So if I get you the camera hooked up in the cheap seats, we can get started. Now, unfortunately, when my camera is up here in the overhead position, I cannot see your comments. But if you do comment, I will certainly check them out after the video is over. And if you watch the replay, you can always leave me comments or questions in the below the video. Now, if you are interested in any of the products that I am using today, you can purchase them on my website, funstampersjourney.com/Jeanne Bobish. Okay, let's get this party started. This is the paper that is for November in our Year of the Prince paper pack. You get 12 different designs, and they're double-sided papers. So, of course, this was October, this is November, and that's December. So, I couldn't decide which side to use, and so I chose this pretty plaid because I thought it was kind of nice. And I went ahead and ran it through, well, actually it would have been this way, through my die cutting machine using this awesome die, which I absolutely love, and it created our page, and it has all the little tabbies at the top so that it will fit perfectly in our rings here. Let's see. Get in there like that. And it fits perfectly in our booklet. And they're also fun. This die is also fun to use on the for card fronts and the like. It's a good little die to have. And it's not very expensive at all. So if you're interested in that, it is DI 0268. So the other thing we're going to need is a piece of buttercream, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. And we're going to use this beautiful, I forgot to pull it out ahead of time, and I'm telling you what, this is an absolutely gorgeous embossing folder, and it is called Fall Text. Now, the only way you can get this folder, and you will get it free, is by placing a $100 order, and you get to choose it as your free Bloom benefit. So I'm going to place my buttercream paper in here, and the reason I have it over this way is because I want that fall to show up. So I'm going to bring my Amaze machine over, and the way I emboss them is I just use my base plate and my embossing mat or plate, and I run this through, and it will give me an absolutely beautifully embossed background piece. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, because it's kind of a little bit hard to see, I thought that I would take my Pan Pastel in our Journey Gold color and my little mini dauber, and I have a sponge under here. I keep it underneath. Now, you may notice that my Pan Pastel is a little lumpy. Well, what happened is I made a shelf for them, and I put them on top of my desk, and I moved my desk, and they all fell off and broke into a million pieces, okay? And I was devastated. But I read online, if you mix some alcohol with your Pan Pastels, make a paste, smooth it out, and let it dry, that you can use them again. So it worked out beautifully. So anyway, I have some on my dauber, and I'm just going to lightly run this across my paper, and what it will do is it will pick up and put this color on the raised areas. Now you'll get some on the back too, or you know, the flat areas too, and that's okay because it just makes the whole thing shimmer and shine so beautifully. So we don't need a lot, but you just want to kind of make that beautiful design pop out. And there you go. I hope you can see that because it is gorgeous. So I'm going to place this back. I have a piece of Velcro with the scratchy side facing up, and that holds my little dauber pads underneath, and then I have them for whenever I want to use them. Okay, so here's our base, and I'm going to take this now and use my tape runner and apply some tape to the back. And I'll tell you what, I cannot get this stuff straight for the life of me. So if you go over the edge, simply fold it towards the back. And I'm going to center this. Oh, there's more sticking out. Okay, I'm going to try and center this as evenly as I can on here. It's kind of hard to do with the plaid. So I want it a little bit closer to the bottom than the top. And there we go. And if you want to kind of burnish that pastels in there a bit, you can. And then just wipe your hands on a towel or a baby wipe. So I'm going to set that aside. Get that off my fingers. Okay, the next thing I did was I took this beautiful harvest stamp and I stamped it on some whipped cream paper using black licorice. And now we're going to color this. So I have my little cheat sheet here, so I remembered what colors I used where. And we're going to use our fabulous colored pencils. So I'm going to start with number 16. And I'm going to color in the open areas of my apple. There's 2 apples here. One down front and one up top. And let me see if I can zoom you guys in a little bit. Let me see how this works. Whoa, sorry about that. Get it? There we go. That might be a little easier for you to see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera. Okay, there we go. So, like I said, I'm just doing this with number 16 and filling in that space. Next, I'm going to grab number 3, which is my red. Now, I want to kind of put my highlight right in this area here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to very lightly start adding this red color, and I want to go over the black where it's shaded. The artist already shaded this pretty much for us, but I'm going to fill this in. Now naturally we don't want that perfect circle there, so I'm going to come in a little bit and distort that circle. And now I'm going to continue adding color, pressing a little bit harder, and making this darker red around the outside. And I'm just going to lighten it up as I come closer to that little highlight there. And then, like I said, I'm just going to keep adding red around the outside until I get my apple as dark as I want it. Now, you don't want to go right in there and right away go like this, because what happens is you build up wax. like a wax coating, and then you cannot add colors on top of that. So by just gradually adding and adding and adding layers, you will eventually get to that darker color. So I'm thinking that that's looking pretty good there. So I'm going to leave that one as it is, and I'm going to come up here, and I want my highlight to be in that area. So I'm going to do the same thing and just start adding some of this red. And then just continue going around my apple. And I'm using a circular motion here because I don't want to use Gamsol or baby oil or anything on here when I'm done. So by going in a circular motion, there's less chance of seeing lines and streaks and stripes. So like I said, I'm going to keep going, even going over that black area. Okay, and I think they look pretty gorgeous. The next thing we're going to do is our pumpkin, and we're going to take number 16 again. And I move my paper. I just want to make sure I'm still on the screen there. And I'm going to put some of this yellow where I want highlights on my pumpkin. And this area is larger than what I want the highlight to be, but I want to make sure that I have room to work around, and you'll see what I mean as we start doing our pumpkin. So we're going to build up and kind of mix our colors together. So the next color I'm going to use is number 10. And unfortunately, oh, I got it. My pencils are not in order. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the black areas, and I'm going to fill in and come up to that yellow. Kind of blend into the edges of the yellow and fill in the rest of our pumpkin with this light orangey color. Now I don't want to go over the yellow. I want to leave a highlight. Now I'm going to come down here, and don't forget to go under these guys. I always tend to forget to go underneath there because they're kind of out of sight, out of mind, if you know what I mean. So this is a big section, so you can see maybe a little bit better of what I'm attempting to do here. And I'm doing each one at a time. And you can start to see that highlight showing up in the sections. So right now I'm pressing very lightly, not using a lot of pressure. I'm going to do the same over here. And like I said, don't be afraid to go over those black areas. That is where the artist put the shading. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat this, only this time I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to press a little bit harder, and I'm going to try and stay away from that yellow highlight because I don't want it to go like dark to bright yellow. So we want to have that little lighter of this color closer to the yellow so that it's a little more gradual. Now this is a good way to build up colors and get like more depth in your colors, more, you know, by building them up, you get those layers and a more richness to your finished piece, I think. All right, and make sure we go dark along this squash here, because that's our shadow. And I try to start at the same segment each time so that as I'm going around my pumpkin, I know where I left off if I get interrupted. And I know which areas I've done and which ones I haven't. Okay, so that looks good. Now we're going to pick number 13, which is a darker orange, and we're just going to do the same thing. And we're going to add that darker color on top. I got a piece of wood here that's driving me nuts. Okay. So just continue around, and like I said, we're kind of blending those colors. This top color is kind of blending with the one below. And like I said, don't forget this area down here. I don't know about you guys, but I love coloring. I really do. I enjoy it. I find it very relaxing, very fun. Oops, I went a little bit into that yellow more than I wanted to. I should say it's relaxing when I can really take my time. I always feel like I need to rush on the videos because I don't want you guys to be bored to tears. Now the last color is number 14, and this is our darkest color. So I'm only going to put it in the very darkest of areas, pretty much all the places the artist has the black. And anywhere else, like between the segments and along these vegetables and what have you in front. And this is going to give us a very pretty pumpkin. Get under the stem here. It kind of gives us that nice glow of yellow for a highlight. So isn't that gorgeous? I love how it looks. All right. The next thing we're going to do is our leaves. And for our leaves, we're going to use 21 and 22. So again, we're going to start with 21. And I'm just going to very lightly color my leaves. Now over here, we have 2 leaves, and then I'm assuming that that's the part of a corn, an ear of corn, the top of it. So that's why I'm not going to color it green. And don't forget your little apple leaf here. Apple leaf. All right, now we're going to take 22, and I'm going to go along the pumpkin and where this one leaf sits behind the other. And I'm going to kind of shade this a little bit and blend it up into the lighter color. And then I'm going to outline my vein lines. All right, so this one will just get shaded down here against the pumpkin, and I'll do the vein line. And again, I'm just using little circular motions. Gradually blending it up under. And if you want, you can put a little line under that wheat and just on the apple leaf there. Make this side a little brighter. Okay. Then I'm going to take this color, number 22, and I'm going to do my little vines and make them green. Okay. Excuse me if I have the sniffles. I'm still fighting this thing. All right, the pepper and the eggplant are going to be number 22 and 23. So, the eggplant top. So we're going to start with 22 and do the top of the eggplant. And the pepper. And I'm just going very lightly. Again, circular motions. All right, now I'm going to take 23 and we're going to shade this in. And again, I'm going to basically use what the artist provided us with here. So anywhere there's some dark, dark areas that they shaded in, I'm going to do the same. And that kind of makes it easy. When you're doing this, if you're not familiar with figuring out where to shade and highlight, they kind of give you a little bit of a guide. Okay, and then I'm going to come along the bottom and just darken this up a little bit. So we have a little bit of a light spot here and here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to do our eggplant. And you know they're purple. So we're going to use 35 and 36. And I'm going to start him with 35. So I'm just going to basically very lightly color him in. And then we're going to take 36 and we're going to give it some of this reddish color, reddish purple, in the darker areas. And around the back, behind this pepper. That's getting a little too red for me, so I'm going to come back with my first color and just go over top. You can see those colors are blending together. Giving me more of the purpley look that I want. And then I'll come back and do the back end here a little darker. Okay, and there's our eggplant. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now this squash here, for lack of anything else, that's what I'm going to call it. We're going to use number 16 and number 21. which is this brighter green. And I'm going to go ahead and color the whole squash in with number 16. I didn't exactly know what color to color it, so I thought we needed some yellow. Now I'm going to take the number 21 and I'm just going to go down the line, and wherever there's some shading marks left by the designer, I'm going to do those in this green. Like so. And don't forget the little stem there can be kind of green. And then if you want to blend it a little better, just pick up the yellow again and just go over the whole thing like so. So pretty. So pretty. All right, now we have to do our wheat, and that is going to be number 37 because I really couldn't find a color that really was a wheat color. And I'm not doing anything special but just coloring them. Line the stems there. I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Okay, just get all those little wheat thingies in there, kernels or whatever they're called. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing with this, which I am assuming is a piece of dried up corn. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, our pumpkin stem is going to be number 39 and number 41. So we're going to very lightly color it with number 39. And then I'm going to shade it just like where the original designer did with number 41. Okay. Isn't it gorgeous? I think it is so pretty. So stinking pretty. So I'm going to put all my pencils away here. And something's not right, but I'll fix it later. And let me give you a little closer view of this. Whoop, there you go. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So let me see if I can bring you guys back out. Let's see. Whoop. There we go. Boy, that worked good. And now we're going to fussy cut this out. But not to panic. I already did one. So you don't have to watch me fussy cut. Hallelujah, right? Because that was a little tricky to fussy cut. Now, if you notice, I cut out even the wheat. And in order to do that, I used a craft knife and a cutting pad. So if you want to get really close, detailed cutting, that's what I used for inside these areas. Because I didn't want that white to show when it was so pretty. And it's going to be put on a pumpkin bread oval, which I have already cut out using our oval dies. Here's what the package looks like. All right. And we're going to age this oval a little bit. So I'm going to take some of my hazelnut blend and my dauber. And I'm just going to go around the outside edge. And this just kind of enhances the circle a little, or the oval, makes it a little more predominant, so it kind of pops a little bit better. Okay. And then again, I put the little Velcro thingy on the bottom so I can store that little sponge for later. Now to attach this, I'm going to use craft glue because there's so many little, and let me put this behind so you can see, so many little things popping out here. So it's easy to make sure that you get it glued down good by using the liquid glue. So I'm going to very carefully, you don't want to put tons, but you do want to get some so that those areas don't tear off or come loose. Okay, and then I will place some in the middle. And we'll lift this up and carefully place it where we want on our oval. Make sure we press that down really well. And isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. Beautiful. So we're going to bring back our little panel. And I'm going to place this right here. And we can mount it using our Easy Glide adhesive. So, again, I went over the edges. All right, and we're going to put it right about here. I'm going to try and get it straight and even and press it in place. Looking good. Now we just need our sentiment. So for that, I have another little piece of whipped cream, and we're going to use the Give Thanks stamp from this absolutely gorgeous stamp set. I have yet to color this, and I'm so looking forward to it because it's going to be so much fun. So I have my Give Thanks stamp, and I'm going to mount it here on my block. Make sure I have it nice and straight. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of our colorless blender pan pastel, and I'm going to dip my little applicator in it, and I'm going to just wipe it across my paper. Try not to fold your paper like I keep doing. Ugh. And anyway, that's going to help with the static. It kind of works like an embossing buddy. So now we're going to grab our clear pigment ink. Ink it up really, really, really good. And I'm going to stamp it on here. And you can see it maybe a little bit in the light. Then I'm going to grab our media tray and our gold embossing powder. And I thought the gold was perfect for this. Tap off the extra. And I'll set this aside and put it back in there later. Oops. Now, I'm going to grab our heat gun. And we're going to go ahead and heat this up. My cord just got wrapped around my chair. Let it get good and hot. And I love to watch embossing powder turn. Isn't that gorgeous? It turns from that ugly, dusty, dark gold into this gorgeous, shimmering, bright gold. Now, I don't have a measurement for this because we're just going to kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to cut out a rectangle. And hopefully it will be straight with my words here. And And here, let's go here. And I can see that it's very crooked here. Okay, that's not the greatest, but it's going to have to work because I'm not going to do it over again. Boy, is that crooked. And you know it's going to drive me absolutely insane because it's not even. There we go. Much better. Still got a dip in it. Okay, hurry up and glue it down, Jeanne, before you just spend the whole day trying to make it straight and end up cutting the whole words off. Okay, now I'm going to line this up because we're going to mat it on this piece of pumpkin bread. Nice little scrap piece that I have here. And this is a great way to use up any little pieces that you have saved. I save everything, every little scrap. Okay, and there we go. We have our little sentiment, and that's going to get centered and mounted right there. And again, I'm going to use my Easy Glide. And place it right about there. And there you have it. Your perfect cover for your flip book. Now, what I did is our flip book comes with these really hard, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's not chipboard, but it's really nice. But what I do is I just put a little teeny piece of runner and then attach my calendar and attach, see, this already had a couple little pieces on it, my cover. And that way, if I want to change them next year, or when I want to add next year's calendar page, I will have no problem doing so. Now, to get the calendar pages, a coach near you or I can send them to you, and all you have to do is print them out or cut them out using the die. So there we have it. Our flipbook page for November is now complete. Let me turn this around. And I hope you all liked it. Let me get you back in the holder here and see if we have any comments or thanks, Eva. Aw, that's great, Susan. That's how you learn, by watching and practicing. Make sure you practice, because practice makes perfect. So, okay, guys, I hope you liked this flipbook page, and I'll tell you what, the first person that orders the day-by-day flipbook, where is it here? Notebook page die and the Year in Prints paper pack, I will send you absolutely free today's cover so that you can, and the calendar pages for the remainder of this year and all of next year. So first person to place an order will get this to start their flipbook on their own. So I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. Oh, that's awesome, Carol. You'll have to share it so I can see it. Yeah, there's so much fun. Isn't it fun? It's such a fun thing to work with. I just love it. And I want to keep going, but I want to wait and see what stamp sets we're going to get for spring before I do my February, March, and April stamp sets. I'm waiting for the new catalog to come out, which will come out January 1st. So, for all of you, I want to say thank you. I hope you have a great evening. I will not be doing... Ah, hi, Nolan. I love you. Mwah. I love you and I miss you so much. I'm blowing you kisses. He blows kisses back to me. He's so sweet. So anyway, I want to wish you a great weekend. I won't be on here tomorrow. Hopefully maybe Wednesday, but I will keep you posted. Thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your weekend or your week. Oh, he blew me kisses back. Oh, my heart. He's so sweet. I wish you guys could all meet him. He's adorable. But anyway, thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
What happened? His face showed up?
Sorry, guys. I forgot how to stop it.